Hello everybody and welcome to another Cinema 4D tutorial. Today we're going to be going over bending your character's limbs, retexturing your character, and just positioning them in general. So if you'd like to open up Cinema 4D, and as usual we want to go into File, Merge, and you want to find where you saved your render. In my case, it will be in Tutorial 1. Character, and Open. Press OK, it doesn't matter what your scale is, and OK. So as you can see, our character is very small. And so now you want to go into Merge, and you want to find where you've saved your bones rig. The link to how to get bones is in the description. So here's your bones, and as you can see they are much larger than your character. So how will we get your character to the same size as your bones? Well, it's simple. You could either make it larger yourself with the scale tool, but that would take a long time and it won't be precise. Instead, you have to go to the right side of your screen and you want to click character, or whatever you named your file as, chord, and you see your X, Y and Z. You would like to change those. Just start off with 1,000 and then add zeros at the end of them until you get the right size. In my case, these were the numbers I chose, 10,000, but it won't be the same for every render and every character. So as you can see, we just want to position our bones inside our character now, and from this you can see that this particular bones rig is a bit too tall for my character. This shouldn't be an issue with you, but if it is, all you have to do is go into your scale tool and shrink them down a bit, and then you can position them properly in your character like so. When positioning, you want to make sure that the bones are right in the middle, or at least as close to the middle as you can get. It makes sure that the bends are much more aesthetically pleasing. So that's how your skeleton should look inside your character. Now, with texturing, if you press the one on the far right, hold shift and press the one on the left, you will select them all. Just delete them. And add 3 new materials for your character. Now we're going to start off by getting the regular texture by going into any place, finding it and pressing no, and that should bring you the texture, or the color, to your character. Next, you want to find another material, and you want to find where you saved your others. So here we have the glasses. We're going to open that, press no, and drag it and drop it onto the glasses. And finally the hat. We'll go into 3 dots again, find the hat, OK, press no, close that up, and drag it and drop it onto the hat. There we go. So we want to remove the reflectance from this, and that is your basic character. Now, since it's blurry, we're going to put no scaling on, and that looks much better. So this is your basic character, and it's not anything special. So to make this better, all we have to do is we have to go into reflectance. We would like to take that, and with default specular you want to click it, and you want to click remove and add GFX. From here you want to change your strength to 10%, scroll down. Don't touch any of these are fine. And from texture, you want to pick the exact same texture that you used before. And then from here, to add some depth into your textures, we'd like to select bump and go into the three dots again. Select the character rig you like, press no, and as you can see I chose the wrong thing, so I'm going to have to find the right one and open it again and no. And there you go, much better. Change the strength to 25 and you should see it coming through a little. On the glasses again, I'm going to add reflectance, but I'm going to remove specular and add GFX again. Since these glasses I want them to be a bit more shiny, I'm going to put that to 20, no, I'm going to put that to, I believe, 40%. 40%. And if I wanted the material to look a little bit scratched, I would up the roughness on it. So if you can see in the top left preview, it got a little bit more scratched. And then we would like to find the texture, no, and that is our glasses textured. If we add bump, we can add some depth into the texture again by pressing no, and with this one we're going to change it to 25. It's up to you which strength you pick, but I suggest somewhere between 10 and 40. Now for the hat, I don't want to give it any reflectance or bump, so I'm going to leave it how it is. You can change any of that if you'd like, but for me, I just prefer it that way. This is what your character should look like. If we add some light to it now, you can see that it will reflect in some areas, and in other areas it won't reflect as well, and that makes your character look a lot more realistic. That was my bad. So then if we remove these, and if we add a physical sky, which I will go on with another tutorial sometime, what you can do is you can see how your character reflects the light. My bad. You can see how your character reflects the light and how it looks. So as you can see, it looks a lot more plasticky and a lot more realistic than if it were just the matte colours. Unfortunately, there was an issue with the face, as I couldn't find the problem with how it was reflecting a circular mouth. So to solve this, I just redid the texture in the way that I preferred. Thank you, Windows. Bit unexpected, but still. Moving the specular again, adding GFX, and putting the texture over it. And then changing the specular back down to 20, and from there I'd like to change my layer 1 to, I believe, 20. Right. And then we needed to add a bump, so from the bump texture we chose the same as the GFX and the colour, and we left that at 20%. So then we removed the texture from the head. Mistake there. We removed the texture from the head, and we put the new one on, and it looks a little bit blurry here, but if you give it a minute, it will start looking a lot better. There it is. So if we have a look now, ignoring some of the ugly shadows, the character looks quite nice. So now we want to get onto positioning the character and fiddling with some of the components. So here we have your skeleton. It goes from lower body to the top of your head. And so from here, this is all the parts that you'll be moving, and you'll be binding them to your limbs. It sounds a little bit complicated, but it gets much easier. So to start off with, you can try holding control and clicking all of your body parts, but that won't work usually. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't click one or two, or any of them with a different texture. You want to pick the lowest one with the same texture as your body, and you want to go all the way up to the second to the top. Hold shift and click, and you should select all of them, like so. From here, you want to go on the left side of your screen, choose the cube with two lines, and you would like to press U and S. First U and then S, and do that 3 times, so U, S, U, S, U, S. Just like that. And if you've done it right, your character should come out black like this. And if this does happen, the way to fix it is on the right of your screen. You will want to look for these boards with little pins sticking out, and you'd like to go down and click all of them, and then delete, and then your character should look like this. Make sure to do this step, because otherwise your bends won't work. From here, you'd like to click your limb, and since this is my character's left limb, I would like to then hold control, click left hand, left elbow and left shoulder. So left hand, left elbow, left shoulder. And then I want to go up to character, I want to go to commands, and I want to bind to that. Just there, bind. And click. So then I want to go to his right arm this time. Hold down control and click right hand, right elbow, right shoulder. Take off control, character commands, and bind. I want to do the same with his left leg, which is there because it's his left, and it will be control, left foot, left leg, left thigh, characters commands, bind, release control, and the same with his right leg. Again, don't worry about the physical sky, that's just there so I can get some lighting. We'll go over how to use the lamp soon. Then with the torso, you want to go lower body, mid body, upper body, characters command, and bind. Don't worry about rigging up the head or the hats, because that tends to not work. And here your character should be fully rigged to the skeleton and ready to start bending and positioning. So to position your character, all you want to do is you want to look on the right side of your screen, where you should have all of the parts, like your left shoulder, your right shoulder, your left arm. And to check that it's worked, all you have to do is click an elbow and move it, and it should move like this. If it doesn't move like this, make sure to start from the beginning with the binding of the skeleton to the limbs. So now, once that's all ended up, all you have to do is pick a shoulder or an elbow and use the rotate tool, and you will rotate the parts of your character. And then you can use the move tool if you're uncomfortable with where it's positioned. And then all you have to do is move down to the elbow, and you can bend that, and that will bend the arm instead of just another part of the shoulder. And that is how you start to bend limbs. So to make sure that you don't do something like this, you can only bend it in one direction or rotate the shoulder. So in my case, I could try it like this, and that looks a lot better because there's much less clipping. And you can do this with any shoulder part or any real limb part. So you could use it on your mid body, you could use it on your legs, as I'll show you here with my right thigh. And now we're going to move on to a time lapse of me positioning my character for the thumbnail. And that is how you position and retexture your character in Cinema 4D for GFX. If you liked the tutorial, feel free to drop a like. If you have any suggestions on any future tutorials you'd like, feel free to comment or add my Discord. The username is in my YouTube banner. And have a wonderful day.
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.